Kingdom of the Dead is a boomer shooter from Dorigo Games that maintains a unique pen and ink drawn art style. With the font used in the game's title, I even got some 1950s horror movie vibes from the presentation. In this game, you play as a government agent who is entrusted with cases that involve traveling to 10 different locations in order to close portals from some sort of undead realm. These portals have been opened by Death himself, and you encounter heavy undead resistance at every turn. Each location makes up each of the game's 10 levels, and despite the black and white presentation, there is plenty of environmental variety here. From mansions, crypts, and dark forests, to a mill, ship, a tower, a mountain, and one of my favorite FPS destinations, a train level. The enemy variety is decent, but not too enormous, as you have your sword-wielding undead minions, as well as the undead who carry most of the same weapons as the player. Beyond that, there are giant Viking dudes who carry large axes that show up from time to time, as well as magic-casting robed enemies, and another enemy type that is quite similar to the Cacodemon from Doom. A few other more rare enemy types make appearances as well, including the frequent boss fights that occur at the end of every level, and sometimes even at the halfway point. There isn't much to say about the bosses here, all of them function in similar ways, and the best way to deal with them is to keep moving and focus your fire on them, as the game will throw hordes of other enemies at you during these encounters. Other than that, the best plan is always just to shoot it until it dies. Speaking of shooting, the arsenal also isn't too large in Kingdom of the Dead, but it gets the job done. You have a magical sword that acts as your companion as well, and can be fed with kills until its projectile alternate attack is charged up. Aside from that, you have a revolver, a double-barreled shotgun, a lever-action rifle, a minigun, and, much later in the game, a rocket launcher. It's a pretty standard boomer shooter lineup, but all feel pretty good to use, and it is especially fun to land headshots with the revolver and rifle. In fact, going for the headshots is by far the best way to play the game, and man are these headshots satisfying. My only critiques would be that sound effects can often be very quiet or non-existent, to be honest. And because everything is black and white, enemies can sometimes blend into the background, which can be somewhat irritating, but I actually got used to this. It should also be stressed that while I found the game's art style to be quite interesting and appealing, it might not be everybody's cup of tea, and that is perfectly understandable. But aside from that, and while it is a short game, I found Kingdom of the Dead to be quite fun and engaging all the way through, and it moves at a great pace and never gets boring. For any boomer shooter fan, I think that at the very least this game is worth a look. And that's really about all that I have to say about Kingdom of the Dead. It's a pretty simple game, but it is fun. Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please remember to like and subscribe, and dislike it if you absolutely hated it. As always, enjoy the rest of your day.